She thought she could do better, disrespecting her husband and throwing away a decade-long marriage without a second thought. But when reality hit, she found herself with absolutely nothing to fall back on. This is the story of how one entitled woman learned, far too late, that the grass isn't always greener.
I lost custody of my son because a judge decided that being in the military and being a military family was too unstable for my son.
What?
I have been my son's primary caregiver since birth, and any of you who have ever applied for a move away request know that the stability is the stability of the relationship with the primary parent, not the stability of location. And unfortunately, we just got a judge who was new to family law, had only been a judge for 2 years.
Jesus Christ.
And never spent any time in family law as an attorney. And today is day 9 of not talking to my son because Dad won't let us talk to each other.
I don't like where this is going.
Right about now, everything points that she's the one who's right. But wait until you see the shocking moment.
Even though it's in the court order, and Dad doesn't spend any time with our son, and since he's had custody of him for the last 9 days, he has not spent more than an hour with him a day. And the rest of the time he's been with other family members or friends, and while I'm a stay-at-home mom. And I am trying like hell to figure things out with my attorney, but attorneys are incredibly expensive.
I missed the part where that's my problem.
So if enough of you watch this video, maybe I can get enough followers to start selling things on TikTok Shop.
Are you serious?
Or promoting things on TikTok.
I almost believed her story, but this sentence changed my point of view and lost all respect. She used this situation just for money.
I can pay for the attorney fees and potentially get my son back.
Well, I'm out, man.
I'm doing everything I can. I'm trying to figure out how about moving back to where we were, even though we didn't live there. I don't know. I don't know what else to do, guys. I'm at a loss. Today's been really hard.
Now she knows how most guys feel after divorce. I never trust people who film themselves crying. Well, in this situation, she almost had me, but the last sentence changed my perception.
For divorce 2 months ago, I've been trying to look for an apartment, and the places that I'm looking at, I need to make 3 times the rent to be able to rent them. And unfortunately, with my job, I'm a CNA, I don't make 3 times the rent.
I'm here to tell you right now, we don't care. Let me tell you.
So I need a child support order to be able to add to my income so I can meet the requirement.
What about you guys? Please, someone tell me she didn't say what she just did. I can't believe she wants a child support order just to pay for her bills and payments.
And I've been trying to get into some sort of settlement with my soon-to-be ex-husband on that. And basically, he is blackmailing me, I guess.
What do you mean by that?
He wants me to sign away all rights I have to his military retirement. He is in the Army. He has been in for 18 years. He'll be retiring in 2 years. And I've been married to him the entire time. So the retirement's a marital asset. So I am entitled to part of it.
Are you delusional? Do you suffer from a mental illness? Do you think you do?
So I offer to sign away my right to the military retirement in return for spousal support and the entirety of the savings account that we have.
She seems to want both these things at the same time, and it's crazy.
I send the proposal to my lawyer and tell her this is what I'm proposing to do. And she comes back and says, well, this is a bad idea. And then she says, well, you could get a temporary order from the court for the child support, but that's going to cost you $4,000 in legal fees, and it may not be binding because it's only temporary, so you may not even be able to use that.
Bro, what are you talking about, man?
To really add to your income. And she does all the numbers, and the numbers don't make any sense. Basically, I'm giving away more to get less.
you serious?
Josh and I were sitting on the couch and he told me, I don't think I love you anymore. I think this is done. My gut dropped.
This woman, on the other hand, is a good person. And watch what she did to save her marriage.
And I felt like I had up the best relationship that I had ever had with my work addiction. And I said, that's not true.
Wow.
This is not over. He's hurt, you're hurt. Fight for this. And I remember sitting there and telling him that this wasn't over. I understand that he believes he doesn't love me anymore. I said, I still love you more than anything, and I'm willing to do whatever it takes to see if this can be repaired.
Yes! Hell yeah! Hey, come on, baby! Come on!
This is the mentality I love to see, when people understand the issue and try to correct it without letting their ego get in the way.
The reason men need to be pursuing women is because we literally don't need you. We don't need you. So why the hell would we pursue something that we don't need?
Do me a favor, please. Get out of here.
Studies have shown that women who are married have a lower life expectancy than women who are unmarried. We don't need you. In fact, you actually actively kill us. On the other hand, men who are married have a higher life expectancy than unmarried men. You need us. You need us.
Oh, hell no!
So, of course, we are the prize. Of course, you should be pursuing us.
I don't think so.
Why the hell would we pursue something that will kill us earlier? Woo!
It's sad when you see someone getting all their facts wrong.
Period.
The moment you knew your marriage was over. For me, there were lots of moments, things I didn't recognize until later, that should have been the moment. Here's the first one that should have been the moment, now that I've been through all of this. We'd been married for about a year and a couple months. I was finishing up my degree to become a teacher. He was not going to school, and he was not working.
What?
Why would you marry someone who's unemployed? That's the first idea that came into my mind.
Should have been my first sign. And that we had just found out, I'd taken a pregnancy test, that I was newly pregnant. We were excited, didn't know what was happening, like all the feelings. Well, 2 days later, I started bleeding, and what ended up being a miscarriage.
Are you delusional? Do you suffer from a mental illness? Do you think you do?
I hope she won't blame him for that, because it would be crazy.
I ended up staying home from school that day. Just a lot of emotions. I remember crying a lot and not feeling great and bleeding a lot. And I remember not having the supplies I needed to handle a miscarriage. And I had asked my then husband if he would go to the store for me and go buy me some pads. And he looked at me and he was like, I can't do that.
But that's simply not possible.
That makes me very uncomfortable. I was like, what? We are adults. I am your wife. I just had a miscarriage and I'm asking for some help.
I really find it hard to believe that a man would refuse to help in this situation. It makes no sense.
And he said no again. And he made a reference to a time back in high school when he promised himself and some friends that he would never be that guy to buy those things.
Huh?
And in that moment, I remember being like, huh? But it was a flash, right? And when I put a hat on, I put a jacket on, and I left without saying anything to him. Eyes swollen from crying, not feeling great, to go buy the supplies I'd asked him for help with. That was the moment that should have been the moment. But I lasted 11 more years, 4 kids.
Okay.
What do you guys think about all of this? I'm speechless.
You know that women file for divorce 70% of the time? And did you know that most of those divorces are associated with a major life event, like the husband losing his job or dealing with a mental health crisis? That is a fact. They are not loyal to you. The people in your life keep you around because of one thing, and that is what you are able to provide.
The worst thing is falling sick, or, God forbid, in an accident. And it's a sad fact.
And at the end of the day, no one's going to take care of you but you. And the thing is, I don't get mad at the weatherman for telling me that it's going to rain tomorrow. And I don't get mad at the rain because it's raining. You don't resent your wife and your kids because they're not loyal to you. That's just a fact of life. You just accept that fact and adjust accordingly. And the adjustment that you need to make is that if I don't take care of me, no one's going to take care of me.
That's what I'm talking about.
The only way that you're going to put you first.
Accept the reality because it's how the game works. So play it right. And never forget to take care of yourself.
Is by first accepting the fact that it's you who put you where you are. It's not a bad thing to take care of yourself.
Hell yeah! Hey, come on, baby! Come on! Yes! Come on!
When I was younger in your age, sex was not so free and accessible. You know, women that sleep around, nobody would take them seriously or marry them or want to get into a relationship with them. Today, with fans and everything, women think they're doing something good because they replace value with money.
It's funny the way they are looking at her all angry while she's giving them the best advice of their lives.
They think if they have money, they have value. But what's going to happen when you get to my age, you realize that you didn't surround yourself by good men and good people that protect you.
Oh, well.
Because if a woman have a good upbringing, surrounded by a good brother, good friends, good family, she would never go to this route.
That's what I'm talking about.
She would protect herself because the emotional and psychological damage that happened to women, it's going to damage you so bad. So even if you make $20 million or $100 million, you can never replace your emotional and physical damage that you're doing to yourself. So every DNA that you have in your body from every man is what's going to make you sick from the inside for the rest of your life. And it's no money that could repair that.
I keep seeing egos getting in the way of true happiness.
I absolutely went into marriage knowing I was going to become a divorcee. There was no question in my mind. I knew at some point we would get divorced. The only question mark was when.
You don't want to be like this. This is disgusting. This is awful in every way.
Expecting something to fail since the start is the worst strategy, and it makes the process doomed to fail.
I thought, when I'm 40, maybe I'd get that title. Maybe then I'd earned it, 10 years down the track. Because I think 10 years in a marriage, that's a pretty good innings in this day and age. That's like a good run. Turns out it was just the 3. In the end, that's all we kind of reached our limit with. But, still got the title in the end. And obviously, I don't want to get married ever again.
We do not care.
It's simply not possible at this point, even if she wanted to.
However, double divorcee is a term that I'm living for. Like, that is...
Stop it. Get some help.
Isn't it? Oh, yeah, I'm a double divorcee. What? That's Slayana. Almost would be worth getting married again for. But as I said, I'm not going to get married again unless it's someone with terrible health, no living other relatives, and a lot of money.
What kind of animal are you?
Men who have a lot of money, be cautious of this one.
My former spouse had recently gotten engaged to someone else. Now I'm about 2 years out from my own divorce, and let me tell you, it's still a kick in the gut. It's had all of these conflicting thoughts and emotions, even though I know I made the right decision and I'm so happy in my new relationship. It's still just a huge shock.
She just said she's happy in her new relationship. I want you to remember this detail.
And I really started to get in my own head about it.
Holy Jesus.
Just thinking like, why wasn't I enough for this person to change and meet my expectations? Why does it seem like he is able to do that with this new person? I must not have been good enough for him. You want to change and be different. And then I kind of stepped back and thought, what if he is this way because of me?
Oh my God, who the hell cares?
What if he learned these lessons the hard way through our divorce, and now he's able to show up differently with his new partner?
The only thing he learned is to choose better this time. And
I feel like that's just a more empowering way to look at it.
You are worthy of love. You are worthy of your expectations. And just because somebody wasn't able to meet them for you doesn't mean that it's your fault or you're not enough.
It's crazy how she got in a relationship, but when her ex did, she didn't like that.
It was his 40th birthday, and his mom was throwing him a birthday party. And he said to me, "Are you ready?" And I said, "Yeah, I'll just meet you over there. I haven't gotten the girls ready yet." I knew the birthday party was going to be 2 to 3 hours. So I had that amount of time to pack everything I needed to take with me.
Jesus Christ.
So that when he came back from the party, I was going to be gone.
Why not be direct? It's crazy.
By the way, if you are in an abusive relationship, you do not need to announce to anyone that you're walking out.
If only we could do that too, but if we try, we would lose half our stuff.
When he walked out of the house, I was ready. My brothers were waiting with a truck, and we loaded up that truck so fast. I mean, it took us less than an hour to load up the truck with 1-bedroom set, the girls' bedroom set, their clothes, my clothes. Less than an hour, I was out of there. That evening, he called me and he said, "I can't believe you walked out, and I'm going to report you to the police because you stole the girls' furniture." After that, weeks after that, after I left him, he made my life a living hell. He would come and pick up my vehicle. He didn't care that I had small children. He could, when you're dealing with a narcissist, they don't care about anyone but themselves.
This is what we've been dealing with for ages, so we understand it pretty much.
A divorce. Staying stuck in a marriage that literally sucks life out of you. There's still so much stigma around divorce, and it makes me mad. It makes me really mad. Divorce allows you to rediscover yourself, to reinvent yourself, to create a whole new life.
I don't think so.
For yourself outside of your marriage. Your confidence can skyrocket. The first time you fix something by yourself, the first time you travel alone. I've helped clients post-divorce buy their first house on their own, and it's so amazing.
You weird, buddy.
You realize you don't need someone else.
It's disgusting when these divorce coaches convince women to do so just to make money, promising them many benefits that's half false.
To do all of these things with you. You finally have the ability to attract healthier relationships, do the healing, do the work. And you can be that example for your kids of what it means to not settle.
That's not true. You would only teach them that it's okay to walk away when things get hard. And it's not something you want to teach your kids.
Rate in Russia is around 80%. Why is it so high? Women are beautiful, so why everybody are getting divorced in Russia? First reason, no religion. So religion has no big influence in Russia, and people don't feel ashamed to be divorced because of religion. Also, society doesn't push so much on people who are getting divorced. So not your grandmother, not your neighbor will never ask you any questions if you are getting divorced. So it is fine.
Just because many people think something is fine doesn't make it so.
We think that women are pushed by society and by family to get children. So if you are 30 years old and you have no children, you will have lots of questions from your family. Damn! But if you are 30 years old and you got a child and then get divorced, no questions. So for women, it's more beneficial to go to the marriage, got a child, and then get divorced.
It's pretty difficult to put into words how disgusted I am, how depressed I am.
And in society, there will be less questions than to the girl who was never married. It is strange, but this is true.
This is a bit out of topic, but listen to an advice I will say. And it is to never listen to what people think and do the decisions that will satisfy them. Do what you think is right, and be prepared for the consequences.
I'm dating my ex-husband, and I don't know the sequence of events. Is there a 90-day rule? We have a kid together. Do we still follow the parenting custody agreement?
Good question. You should ask him that when we get there.
So, like, do we have sleepovers, or do we have two houses? I'm so confused. Is there a book to this? On a serious note, it's very scary to work your way into this, because normally when you're dating somebody that's new, you don't introduce your kid to them. Well, I have to introduce my kid to that's his dad. I have struggled with the judgment.
Say whatever you want about her, but let's all agree that she's trying to fix her relationship with her ex-husband, and that earned my respect.
Or the haters, per se. But at the end of the day, don't we love love? At the end of the day, don't we love a happy family? Don't get it twisted. I'm still struggling with it.
She made a realization that nothing is worth ruining her family, and I love this mentality. Well, guys, that was all for today. We'll be back soon.